A seismic shift is hitting the global economy right now. Trump's 2025 tariff strategy is here, targeting China's influence and rewriting the rules. This isn't just geopolitics, it's about your wallet and your future. Today, we're diving deep into something that's about to shake up the global economy, something that touches your wallet, your job, and frankly, the entire world order. We're talking about a strategic maneuver so big, it's being called an economic earthquake. Are you ready to understand what's really going on behind the headlines? Trust me, this isn't just about tariffs. It's about a complete global reset. Welcome to China Decoded. I'm Aric Chen. Let's start with the heart of this strategy. For years, there's been a clever little trick happening in global trade. What's known as country of origin washing. Picture this. Goods are made in China, then shipped to a country like Vietnam, and poof, they're off to the US, dodging those higher tariffs. It's a loophole, a big one, and it's been costing certain economies a lot. Ever wonder if that made in somewhere else labeled on your shirt and the gadgets is actually telling the whole story? Well, the Trump administration isn't just aware of this. They have got it pinpointed, and their response is pretty genius. A two-tiered tariff system. If goods come directly from Vietnam to the US, it's a 20% tariff. But those same goods made in little detours through a third country, say Myanmar, Laos, and Cambodia, which are often used as these wash stations, they are slammed with a whopping 40% tariff. This isn't just about collecting more money. It's about making the old game too expensive to play. It's designed to break up China's manufacturing dominance and pull the supply chains and those jobs back to the US. It's a strategic chess move to rebuild trade with America at its core. Could this completely redefine where your everyday products come from? I think so. But hold on, this isn't just about slapping on tariffs. This is a much bigger play, what's being called De-Sinicization, a systematic unveiling of China's deep integration into global economy, especially in critical sector. If you want to understand what's really happening inside the CCP's black box, do me a quick favor, it's free. Hit that like and subscribe button and ring the bell. Every click helps our analysis break through the noise in an era flooded with fake news. Alright, let's continue. Take agriculture, for example. We've seen a massive shift here. China, which used to buy a huge amount of soybeans from the US, is now importing far less from America and a lot more from places like Brazil and Argentina. On the surface, that looks like China diversifying, right? But here's a kicker. It's a double-edged sword. They are losing access to a consistent, high-quality, high-volume supplier like the US, which could, in the long run, actually increase their risk for food security. Could this affect global food prices for all of us, even you are not directly involved in agriculture? Absolutely. And it's not stopping at farms. This decoupling is extending into technology and finance. The US is actively trying to cut off China's access to American capital, cutting-edge tech, and crucial markets. This isn't just about trade balance. It's about power, influence, and building new tech and financial alliances that strategically sidelined Communist China. If all of this happening, what does it mean for China itself? Well, the picture isn't exactly sunny. While their official numbers for 2024 claims 5% economic growth, many international experts are quietly saying the real number is much lower. Some put it closer to 2.4% or 3.5%. This isn't just a bump in the road, it's a structural slowdown. We are watching the early stages of an economic meltdown for one of the world's most powerful economies. The problems are piling up. Youth unemployment is through the roof. Their real estate market is tanking. consumer spending is shrinking, and exports are down. You combine those with the triple threat of a burst real estate bubble, local government drowning in debt, and the sluggish consumer economy, and you have got a perfect storming brewing. And about tariffs, China could lose anywhere from 10 to 40 million jobs. Think about that number for a second. 40 million jobs. That's a staggering hit, one that could ignite widespread social unrest and seriously threaten the stability of the communist regime. This is a pivotal moment, not just for China, but for how the entire global economy functions. Could this economic pressure lead to a new geopolitical order that affects every corner of the world? I believe it could. Out of all this turbulence, a new trade structure is starting to emerge. And guess what? It's designed with the US at its core. The Trump administration is essentially creating a new economic hierarchy. Allies and trusted partners, they will likely get better trade deals. But Communist China and the countries that help them bypass restrictions, they will face higher and higher barriers. It's a classic carrot and stick approach, essentially forcing nations to pick a side. Let me know in the comments, if you are not from the US, which side do you think your country should ultimately choose in this evolving global landscape? This isn't just about tweaking trade routes. It's about fundamentally reshaping global supply chains. The goal is to pull them away from China and redirect them towards more reliable, less risky partners. This isn't just manufacturing. It's happening in agriculture, energy, and especially in crucial technologies. The aim is crystal clear: to build a new world order that minimizes Communist China's economic and political leverage. And finally, there is a serious push to clean house, to address what's seen as China's deep infiltration into American economy. The US is putting Chinese investments under a microscope, especially in sensitive areas like advanced technology, agriculture, and healthcare. They are even putting limits on China buying up American farmland, calling it a national security risk. It's all about blocking the flow of critical information and vital resources. In my opinion, this could serve as a blueprint for other countries to protect their own strategic interests from foreign influence. Right now, the stakes are higher than ever. The early signs, they are undeniable. Global supply chains are already in motion, shifting. Companies are seriously rethinking their reliance on China and actively searching for safer alternatives. And politically, more and more countries are reassessing their relationship with Beijing. China's global influence seems to be shrinking, and the international community is becoming increasingly worried. Make no mistake, this isn't just a trade skirmish. It's a strategic battle for the very future of the global order. By shutting down origin washing, driving De-Sinicization, and building a new US-centric trade system, the Trump administration is fundamentally redrawing the global economic map. The global isn't just to balance trade numbers, it's to redefine China's role in the world. For the Communist China region, the outlook appears grim. The prospect of economic collapse, a legitimacy crisis, increasing international isolation all point to a profound historical turning point. The Chinese Communist Party may be facing its most severe challenge yet. We could be witnessing the unraveling of a superpower in real time. The strategy isn't just a challenge to Beijing. It's a powerful defense of common values. It sends an unmistakable message. Any regime that tries to disrupt the international order through unfair means will face a firm, comprehensive, and undeniable pushback. The outcome of this strategic context won't just decide the future of the US and China. It will shape the direction of the entire world. It could very well mark the beginning of a new era. What do you think this new era will look like for you, for your family, and for the world we live in? That's all for today on China Decoded. Thanks for watching. Behind the slogans, beyond the surface. Until next time, stay curious and stay informed. Don't forget to subscribe and turn on the bell. See you in the next one.